I'm jacked.
I'm jacked to the test!
Looks as good as on paper. We're in the kill zone, pal. We're locked and loaded.
Hi there guys, welcome into another session on this Thursday the 4th. Very mixed bag in the market today, but we'll review a couple of things and have a look at some supreme data from the TRDR console. But yeah, a little bit of a mixed bag today. Few nice coins moving well, some still in the red, but yeah, to be expected. A little bit of a choppy PvP week so far, I would say. Trader against trader week. People getting chopped up as coins and assets re-auction certain levels. Nice to see Solana still keeping up at that 5th level, 82 billion there. No doubt something to do with the meme coin shenanigans still going on that platform. Nice to see that people doing well from that though. So let's have a look at Big Dog Bitcoin and see where he is, see where he's going before we jump into some raw data on the TRDR console and summarize what we can possibly and potentially see over the next 24 hours. So daily chart here, all looking very constructive. I've got a weekly chart as well, but I think we all know this is looking quite good. Like I've said in the past, pull some bigger levels. If you've not already, just pull some bigger levels on the weekly chart, because I think that's kind of what you need to do now. Zoom out a little bit really and don't get chopped up on 5 and 15 minute candles, okay? But yeah, daily chart very constructive. Forming a bit of a meme triangle. Would ideally like a little bit lower. We'll review that as we go along through the data. But 4-hour chart, again, looking very nice. Holding this 4-hour EMA, pulling back into some golden fibs. Looks very, very good, but it just looks a little bit obvious to me. I would still like to auction a little bit lower, to be honest. And what we'll do is, we will look at some bid-ask ratio data to confirm if we can get there or not, okay? But yeah, 4-hour, very constructive, higher lows. Even if you just wicked down here into that 63, even 62 area, still gonna look pretty good, okay? 1-hour chart. What you can see is, and this is why I kind of call it a chop zone, is basically you've not moved in almost 48 hours here, and what you really want to do is stay away from that kind of chop, So you've got an order block above just defending this zone up at 67, okay? Always set my alerts on there like I do set the alerts below. Weekly VWAP coming down there. Weekly value area high just sat there as well, so I think you're going to get a little bit of chop here. And really what I'd recommend is, if you're not in any position now, maybe you took a little bit of leverage derivatives P&L off the table back here, which I said on the live last week was a nice zone actually, as we were in a supply zone. We'll go and check that in a second as well. We were in a big supply zone there, so it was a nice area to take a little bit of leverage off, to be honest, and relax over the weekend. Was looking for kind of 68k level to hold, which was kind of this obvious level here, just draw a straight line. Subsequently, we've just fallen through there. Absolutely fine, nothing wrong with that. But yeah, just try and avoid now these kind of like these chop zones, to be honest. Just don't get involved here. What you want to do now is get involved on the extremities, okay? That is to say, unless you actually see the order flow and the data coming in and the bid really getting aggressive here and pushing this back up. But at the minute, not too much to see there. Little bit of a defense above there, but yeah, I think you've still got some wick space below. Weekly NPOC right down here at that 63.1. I think that could be really, really nice. And then just that 1-hour order block as well, just reaching down to that 62 level. Could be a little bit of a big ask, but it would certainly take a lot of liquidity if we were to get there, okay? So let's just have a look at what we saw over the weekend then. So all of last week, we were basically saying, and towards the end of last week, so last Thursday, we were in this supply zone here, okay? So we were in the supply zone, said, nice area to take a bit of profit. But what we wanted to see was bid coming back in and pushing this back up. We just didn't, as we can see, we just didn't get any follow through bid at all there, okay? And open interest was very high as well, just on a 4-hour basis here. So what we need to see now is build that bid up, and we're starting to see that already, okay? So as we've come down, so we're currently 66.6 there, and what we're saying, beginning of the week is slight Easter eggs from Bitcoin, no follow through, bid. Early longs could get punished here despite settle funding as overall bid depth is lacking. Okay, and the 65k area I think was a little bit obvious, to be honest, part of the meme triangle and stuff, but you can just see here bid depth lacking. Okay, so what we did was we actually came down, okay, and we started to get some bid. We actually got a BTC diamond there at the low of that meme triangle, and the bid depth was good. It was a very, very valid long if you could have executed in that zone. Nothing wrong with that at all. Quite a good risk reward. I do believe the better risk reward is still to come, to be honest. So diamond bid at the meme triangle as demand re-enters. I think we can still get a cheaper auction price a little bit lower. Fake and shake that downside for best R&R, in my opinion. Book depth, volume divs, OI wiped out, neutral funding, then we can do some Bitcoin business. So I still think we're chopping around this zone. We'll go and have a look at that in a second. But I still think the best risk reward is just going to be to come down and tickle price a little bit lower. All right, let's jump into the TRDR console and see what we can review from the data. Right, so here we are, guys, on the TRDR console. As we can see now, if you're just remembering from that last tweet, the bid depth is building now, so you're coming into like 550, 600 million bid depth. Very, very nice. Not forgetting that the last diamond we had, which was actually in this zone, came from a lot bigger. It was like 1.3, 1.2 billion down there, with open interest absolutely wiped out as well. So that's what I'm basically looking for again for best risk reward. We might not get that, and what we'll have to do is review the order flow as we go, session by session, day by day. Maybe bid just comes in here aggressively and just starts pushing this right back up, and that can happen. But I do believe that you know, I still would like to just come down and just hit that zone as well, that weekly MPOC, go fill some imbalance, build this bid depth a little bit more while the open interest is just getting nuked. You know, people are losing interest, people are getting liquidated in this area because they're just a little bit early, and that's what will bring your contracts out the book there. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm still looking for. Do we get it? Let's review as we go. All right, so let's have a look at some let's just have a look at some general order flow. I've just got the multiverse chart open at the minute. ETH doing the same thing as always, just following Bitcoin. Sol looking very nice as well, but I would like a little bit lower on there. 175-ish, 170 could be quite nice. Watching AVAX as well because it's just got really, really good order books. Okay, but let's have a look at what we're seeing on Bitcoin at the minute. Right, so Bitcoin spot, what we can see is, so this was our last BTC diamond. If you could have executed in there, very, very nice. And what we've done is we've gone from supply, okay, in white here, so this is aggregated 1 to 10%. We've gone from supply zone, which was all the way, to be honest, all in this zone here, supply to demand now. Okay, so it's really now down to a case of just best execution. Like I highlighted on the trading view chart, try not to get involved in these kind of middle areas here, because this is where you really just going to get chopped up, to be honest. You want to be trading on the extremities of those parameters. Okay, so the data from the TRDR console will guide you. BTC diamond here, do we float back down and test that area again? I'm kind of the opinion that we possibly do. Why is that? We're just seeing some top levels a little bit lower as well. Okay, so nice bid depth building, 650 million currently. Okay, so aggregated bid depth is nice. Let's review some of the other exchanges. Yes, a Bitfinex USD, looking at low 63s. Nothing to see from USDT. Bitstamp bid in this area, quite nice, but no real edge from them. Okay, Coinbase again, they're bidding this zone. Coinbase is part of this Diamond Pro, I call it there, just because of Coinbase Pro. So they're bidding this zone as well. But what you can see, top levels a little bit lower. So impatient people will get chopped up in here, I do believe. I would prefer to go and test these zones and grab some of this liquidity a little bit lower, and especially when I'm seeing confluence from the resting orders, top levels down there as well. Okay, Gemini, no real edge there. Kraken are not actually bidding this too much at the minute. We did hit their supply zone there. They've probably filled some orders down here in this zone, but not too much edge there from Kraken. Kraken USDT are just starting to fill here, but again, what you see is some light limit orders down there lower. And what's the other chart that we all love at the minute? Qcoin. Really good chart from Qcoin. And what can we see? These guys are wanting a little bit lower. So these guys have got some big orders down at 60k and 61k. It doesn't mean we're going to go all the way down there. Maybe they don't get filled down there. But it's certainly something to be aware of. And I do like these levels that are on the 63k. So that's my first area really to look for. Okay, perps, what happened, as you can see here. Okay, so perps totally lost interest over the weekend. Fell through from that supply zone there, and then what we see is they're just coming back in and bidding it now. So again, perps part of the B2C diamond. We've almost got triple band here, but it's 2.5 all the way up to 25% away, so these guys can still fill. Few dynamic levels coming from perps here that we can see. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to come down and just wick that area. All right, guys, so yeah, not a lot to see here. Try not to diddle in the middle and get involved in these kind of like chop zones, to be honest. Quick look at volume as well, actually, just as we go. So yeah, one thing to say on volume is there's no major edge at the minute. I think the major edge from volume would come in if you put in another low, something like that, to be honest. If you're familiar with the Volume King template, the open interest, funding and LS ratio looks absolutely Gucci down here, really good. But for best edge, I want a bull div, like we saw at 61k. I was tweeting that at the time and putting it in the TRDR console Discord, okay. Best risk reward here would be putting another low below this diamond here, while the big players here from perpetuals and from spot hold the line, while retail shorts the shit out of this. Okay, best way to see that would be on for me personally would be on an hourly as well. Okay, so just putting another low here, come down, sweep this area if we can. As I say, we'll just follow the order flow as we go, but if you can just sweep down a little bit lower while volume is rising here and open interest is settled, because actually what that'll do is if you sweep another low here, this open interest on the hourly basis will actually come down a little bit lower again. So look for them bull divs if we do. Cherry on the cake, get retail shorting into these lows as well, and we'll bid that back up and go for a little bit more risk. Alright guys, live later on at the US session. We'll post a link to that soon. Speak soon.
It's a wazzy, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust.